I'm a pastor's kid, so I was raised to be an angel, but ever since I could remember, I've wanted to be a rock star, right? Because to me, rock and roll is about people being themselves at all costs. And nobody embodies that better than Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley is a cool white boy. I got to give it to him, right? Elvis, to me, when I think about Elvis, I think about fashion. I think about dressing cool. I think about rocking crowds. I think about all the rules he was breaking by talking about sex. And I look at him as a little kid and I go, how is he getting away with that? But in 8th grade, I'm about as far from a rock star as I can possibly get, right? I have acne, I have braces. My parents put me in a Christian school for looking at Victoria's Secret catalogs. It was an intense world. But it's 8th grade, it's the end of 8th grade, and I'm like, I just remember feeling trapped, and I remember feeling like I'm desperate to reinvent myself. I'm trying to go from where's my glasses to where's my hug. You know what I mean? So I figured out, the way to do that is that we have this church lock-in. And so at this church lock-in, this is the time where I can transition from whack 8th grader to 9th grade rock star. You know what I'm saying? You feeling that, right? So, the key to Elvis is this look, and so, this is 2006, this is the era of T-Pain and Young Jeezy, for those of you that know. And I'm totally trying to live up to this. So I buy a San Diego LaDainian Tomlinson jersey. I get a leather New Era 5950 fitted, you get it. And then I get a bedazzled belt buckle that says Jet on it. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's just a lot of light shining from my crotch at that point. But I'm off one thing. I'm off of Priscilla Presley. So I'm going through my phone. And I'm like, none of these church girls know. And I go through this name, and I remember there was this girl who I don't really know how I know her, but she didn't go to my church, didn't go to my school, and her name's Brittany. Now, I'll give you a little background on Brittany. Brittany goes to an alternative school. I go to a Christian school. I'm 13. Brittany is 16. I have straight A's. Brittany has cocaine possession on her record, but that's neither here nor there. I'm with my boys. I flip open my little flip phone. I text, and I go, yo, church lock-in, come through. Because if you're cool, you speak, like a drug dealer, and you misspell words. And so it feels like an eternity is passing. I finally get a message back. She goes, where and when? Now, for those of you that don't know what a church lock-in is, it's this bright idea where you get a whole bunch of horny teenagers, you lock them in a church with tons of caffeinated beverages and carbonated fried foods, and you tell them don't fall asleep, right? So there's a lot of rules to this lock-in. The first rule of the lock-in is don't talk about the lock-in. Second rule of the lock-in, don't talk about the lock-in. Third rule of the lock-in is you can bring one person. The fourth rule of the lock-in is don't fall asleep. So it's Friday. I got my look in order. I look fresh. I'm in the sanctuary. There is a chocolate fountain. There are nachos. There is endless Mountain Dew. And she isn't there. And my friends are clowning me like, yo, she's not going to show up. And then it felt like I was in the movie Weird Science. The door opens up. That church fog machine was going. And, to set the stage, the other girls in the sanctuary are wearing, giant T-shirts, sweats. Some of them are wearing bonnets. They look free. They look like Harriet Tubman. I'm very excited. But Brittany comes in wearing booty shorts, a crop top, and she's a white girl with cornrows. Yeah, the room changed real quick. I look over, and Deacon John is in the corner, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get away with this? So me and my friends, we go to a different corner of the room. We're trying to stay away from Deacon John, and so I'm with two guys who I think are my friends. And I feel like young Caesar, I feel fly, but for every Caesar, there's a Brutus. And so my Brutus is this guy named Quan. Quan is a guy who wears Hawaiian shirts and has an S-curl. If you don't know what an S-curl is, I'm going to let you Google that. Quan goes up to Brittany, and he goes, so, you look cool and everything, but I want to play a game. Marry, fuck, kill. So me, Josh, which is my birth name, or Brandon. Now, Brandon's hella handsome, so I don't know how this is going to go. And for a normal girl, she'd probably be annoyed. She'd probably be perturbed. But Brittany looks at Quan and she goes, well, I'd marry Josh. I'd fuck Brandon and I'd kill you. And you can just hear like his genitals go inside of his body at this point. So he's knocked out. So now there's Brandon, and Brandon is a guy who very fly, very suave. He's like a 16-year-old LL Cool J, and so now it's a show off. So Brandon calls his girlfriend over. She sits on his lap. Now Brittany's sitting on my lap. Now Brandon and his girlfriend start kissing. So then Brittany wants to win. She pushes me on my back and licks my face. Game over. When I talked to my sisters about this story, and what they remember is that Brittany caused such a commotion that one of the boys left the lock-in early with a concussion. 2 relationships were broken up. MySpace top 8s were rearranged. But what I remember from that lock-in is that in the midst of all the chaos, Brittany chose me every time. Yeah, somebody liked that. So I broke the 4th rule of the lock-in. So I fell asleep. So I wake up in a sleeping bag, and Brittany's in the sleeping bag with me. But I feel somebody yanking my arm out of the sleeping bag. And I look up, and it's the assistant pastor of the church. I'm sorry, let me restate that. It's the assistant pastor of the church. It's my mom yanking me out of the sleeping bag. It was not Hot Boy Summer in 2006 after that. I was pretty much grounded the rest of high school. And it's crazy. It all kind of stems back from that moment. But what I think about all the time is that it's a beautiful thing to become the person you've always wanted to become. And so if I could go back in time, if I could speak to Acne Brace's 8th grade version of me, I'd look at him and I'd say, dude, you didn't do music, but you rock stages. You dress cool. Girls still try to get in your sleeping bag. Your mom's not there to pull you out. And I guess we got away with that. Guys, thank you so much.